Hello, Internet! Welcome back to the deepest, darkest caverns of Bazzle Spot Live. It's dark, as you can see, but we're here on the Battle Spot ladder, and we're going to be using the same team that we used last week. We're actually climbing the ladder a bit, aren't we? In fact, although we might not have deserved to win one of them on Friday, we won every game last week, which is mad, actually. Yeah, that's pretty mad. I mean, this is okay. So this is the team that I used in the Bristol regional, as I said last week, which did go okay for me. Went 4-2, which is okay, I guess. Finished 17th, would have been higher if shenanigans didn't happen with resistance and everything. But let's not go into that. And I know the team has got weaknesses. I know it's got flaws. I know it's got holes in it, but it is fun to use because there's, especially on like a best of one ladder like this, there's a lot of tricks that I can pull, a lot of things that people wouldn't expect, like some of the moves on Brillium and Kangaskhan, and maybe the item on Lunala, and maybe the item on Lele, as we saw in like Wednesday last week, I think it was. But this guy's got a pretty cool team. There's a Pikachu. This looks quite tough actually, because as I think I said in literally every video with this team, Rayquaza, especially if it is assault vested, is a big pain for this team. But also next to reliable Tailwind. We got a cheeky game last week, didn't we? In fact, 7 days ago, with like a fake out and a Scarf Psyshock into a Crobat to stop the Tailwind. We can't do that to stop Tornadus Tailwinding. So I think if he leads Tornadus, we've got to play through it if we can. But there isn't an Incineroar, so I'm going to go with Kangaskhan and Lunala as a lead. That Rayquaza, yeah. Don't think I need Nihilego here, but I think Groudon is kind of necessary. But I'm just thinking, do I go Brillium or do I go with Lele? I think I go Lele. I really, really was close to picking Brillium there, but I think we'll go Lele. So, I mean, I don't know, if someone's cool enough to use a Pikachu, maybe we're going to lose this game. But Hitmontop Tornado, okay. If I'd led with Lele, I would have got my Adrenaline Orb there. But Hitmontop could be eject button. And, eject into something as he Tailwinds. So maybe I don't fake it out. Maybe I switch Kangaskhan into something else. Lele, maybe? I just wonder if a Helping Hand Moongeist Beam gets Tornadus. I'd like to know if it does. Because I'd be very tempted to go for that, actually, but no, I'm not going to. But I will look into Psyshock, seeing as I'm bringing Lele in. And I'll Psyshock the Tornadus, just because the Hitmontop isn't really doing anything. The longer that Hitmontop stays in, the better. I don't think the Hitmontop's going to go for a fake out here, It's just going to... What is it going to do? I mean, it can't U-turn. Maybe just a close combat into the Kangaskhan. But, okay, so it is a Focus Sash, so Helping Hand Moongeist Beam definitely wouldn't have got it either way there. And he doesn't know I'm Scarf Lunala at this point either. But Tornadus definitely Tailwinds here. But if I get 2 knockouts, okay, he's getting turns in for his Solgaleo and Rayquaza, but he would just be down to his last 2 Pokemon. Am I okay with that? Yeah, I think I am. And if we're lucky, he doesn't Tailwind, but he will Tailwind here. I'll still get okay. That makes sense. And it is Tailwind, yep. But you know, Psychic will do nothing to a Solgaleo. It does quad resist it. And I'm locked into Psyshock as well, which against the Solgaleo now would kind of like to be locked into Moongeist Beam, obviously. So maybe Hitmontop comes back in here. Maybe it's going to be the Rayquaza that comes in, isn't it? Yeah, surely. Helping Hands would have been the only reason that maybe he would have wanted Hitmontop back in, but yeah, Rayquaza is definitely the one that comes in. And I wonder if there's like a crunch or a knockoff from either of these. But I think I'm going to try and just play this safe. I'm just going to protect the Lillet and switch Lunala into Kangaskhan. If Kangaskhan survives the turn, we can fake out Rayquaza next turn. I do need Lunala to come back here. Like, Moongeist Beam goes through his team. So if I can get out of Tailwind. Okay, I wonder if... This is probably into Lunala. I think if he was targeting the Lillet, it would have just been a Sunsteel Strike. So I think Kangaskhan's definitely going down here. Yep, Searing Sunray Smash. Oh, it is into Lillet. Okay. I wonder if this knocks it out through a Protector. I just thought, you know, if you're going to be targeting Lillet, then just Sunsteel Strike it, because, you know, you don't need to do this. But, I mean, this is still, what, base 50 through Protect. We're at full, though. Almost full. Yeah, we survived that. Nice. And he hasn't Mega'd his Rayquaza. And he has got Crunch. Yeah, so I was wondering if he had anything to touch anything. But now, I can fake out the Rayquaza. He knows I can fake out the Rayquaza. The Rayquaza's probably Assault Vested, then, if he's got Crunch. So I'll fake out that, and he has to target my Lillet, doesn't he? With his Sunsteel thing. Just thinking if I bring Groudon in. Don't think that's necessary, is it? Do I fake out? I think so. I'm just thinking, like, maybe, yeah. Yeah. So now we've seen my Lillet's item. But at least now, I think we can assume the Rayquaza is Assault Vested. And his Tailwind turns are running out. He's got, what, one more after this? So I can bring Groudon in and protect. I mean, that looks like a poor turn, I guess, but it's not the worst, just because his Tornadus is gone. He can't get a Tailwind up again after this. So, wearing down these Tailwind turns is actually quite important. And now I can bring Groudon, and he can't fake out either. But you have to imagine maybe the maybe the Solgaleo switches into Rayquaza. And on his last turn of Tailwind, he close combats the Kangaskhan. So do I switch in Lunala, being really cheeky? Yeah, okay, so what I'm going to do then is I'm going to Flamethrower the Solgaleo, and I'm going to switch Kangaskhan into Lunala. Him on top can't really do anything to Lunala. if he stays in and Sunsteel strikes the Kangaskhan, breaking my Shadow Shield, as I bring Lunala in, he's eating a Flamethrower. And if he switches, then we're okay. It's an Headbutt. Ooh, we could flinch. Oh, but we don't. Nice. And no Rayquaza, no Airlock to reduce damage there. So yeah, full power Flamethrower. I've been debating between Flamethrower and Rock Tomb on Groudon, just because Rock Tomb would be very helpful in some situations. But when there's when there's Wide Guard, and Flamethrower was better than Earth Power there, just because he could have switched into Rayquaza. But now Lunala can lock into Ice Beam. He might be going for like a Helping Hand Crunch or something. It might be close combat in the Groudon, so maybe I don't switch that out. But yeah, I think I'm safe just to stay in, and I think I will just Flamethrower the him on top just to try and get some damage on it. Because if I can put it in range of Kangaskhan's attack, then it's not really a threat. But yeah, this is a Helping Hand Crunch, I would imagine. But he didn't Mega Evolve, so this is an Ice Beam at 4 times, super effectiveness. But I'm just wondering if a Helping Hand Crunch knocks out Lunala from Shadow Shield. I'm inclined to say no. I'm inclined to be right. And Extreme Speed obviously doesn't do anything there either. So yeah, nice one. We can just safely Ice Beam Rayquaza again. Him on top we've seen is slower than Groudon. So even if him on top's got Bullet Punch, that'd be good for him. I don't think it gets Sucker Punch anymore, does it? I think Sucker Punch stopped being available on him on top after 13. But I'm pretty sure we're locked up just doing this. So now he Mega Evolves. He obviously didn't because he didn't want me to swap Groudon out and then get the Sun back up, so he couldn't Waterfall in the future. But he didn't know I was Scarfed. And my Icy Beamy Lunala helped out a lot there. And I don't know why I decided to Earth Power there instead of Flamethrowing, because, well, I suppose the Sun's gone, so it doesn't really make any difference, does it? Same base power. One can drop the special defense, one can burn it. I went for the Flamethrower first turn because of the burn chance, but just wanted a different animation that second turn. But yeah, okay. Scarf Lunala with Ice Beam doing business there. That was a pretty good game. So let's look one more. And see what we get, because, we're doing alright, aren't we? I mean, considering, how long ago is it now? Like 2 weeks ago, 2 and 3 weeks ago, when I was using that Blastoise team, I liked that Blastoise team. I thought, yeah, this is a team that I really like, feel comfortable with, feel like it's pretty good. I've not lost a game with this team since we've been on BattleSpot. But since I've said that, we're going to lose this game. Possibly. Lure. I feel like that's a name that I've played on BattleSpot many times before. This is interesting because he's got Tailwind and Trick Room options. Looking at my team, you would think, well, you'd think either would work, wouldn't you, actually? But maybe Trick Room more because he's got Skill Swap and Kyogre. But if I go Brillium, I can't stop him taunting me if he leads with Crobat and Bronzong, but that'd be a really weird lead. Maybe I go with Lunala? Yeah, okay, I'm going to go with Kangaskhan Lunala, because I think this gives me more options. I think I do want Breloom here. Breloom does look pretty nice. But then, Nihilego, no. Lele or Groudon? I think we'll go Groudon, just because it helps us more against that Nihilego. But, yeah, let's have a look at the calendar. So, 24th. Is the big American tournament, is that at the end of this week? I've not been keeping up to date with stuff. So, yeah. Maybe it was this last week. I don't know. It's at some point. But, okay. This is interesting. Because his lead, normally I don't lead with Lunala if I see an Incineroar. But, if I can get rid of that Crobat before it Tailwinds, I would love to. I would love to do that. And he might switch to Incineroar because you know I can't fake out a Crobat. So, yeah, I'm going to do it. Mega Evolve, Fake Out into Crobat, and Psyshock into Crobat. If it's Sash, the Fake Out breaks the Sash. That's the idea behind doing this. Sash is the most common item on Crobat, I'm pretty sure. If it is Pyapa Berry, then it will survive and will probably lose because it'll get so much momentum out of this turn. But he has stayed in with Incineroar. Maybe he's Snarling then, or U-turning. And this one's no Pyapa Berry. And Psyshock does knock out Crobat. Nice one. And it's just Snarling. Okay, that's fair enough. My Shadow Shield's broken. Not a lot of damage taken. Lunala's probably going to want to change his moves anyway, so it'll, you know, go back and swap itself up. But I doubt he'll have Bronzong as well, seeing as he probably went fast mode there. Like, surely it's Rayquaza and Xerneas and Kyogre in the back. So if he brings in Rayquaza, I'm definitely Rock Tombing it. I'm Rock Tombing it. Kangaskhan has taken a little bit of damage. This Kangaskhan, I'm sure, is EV to take a Life Orb Dragon Ascent. I'm sure it is. So I should be fine to take a Dragon Ascent. So I am literally just gonna Rock Tomb the Rayquaza and switch Lunala into something. The Incineroar's probably U-turning, but how useful is Groudon right now? That's quite to hit Incineroar. I'm going to put Breloom in. I feel like this might be a mistake. I don't think he'll target the Lunala here, although I suppose he could because he knows that that's like a guaranteed slot that he can hit. But if Breloom survives this turn, it will be faster than Rayquaza, which forces it to extreme speed. But faster than the Incineroar, and potentially faster than the Kyogre, which he might be turning into. Oh, he's just crunching, okay. Is Breloom still in extreme speed range? So that's probably an Assault Vest Rayquaza as well. And is a U-turn into Kangaskhan. Okay, is Breloom in extreme speed range? That's a good question. And he did Mega Evolve, so if he brings Kyogre in here, I can just bring Groudon in to get my son. It is throwing it down with rain. Welcome to Scotland. I'm inclined to say Breloom does survive. So I think I do bring Groudon in and Spore the Rayquaza. if Brillium does go down to an extreme speed here, we're not in the worst position, because then we get Kangaskhan back in at neutral. The Kangaskhan will still have its speed drops on it. If he switches the Rayquaza out, obviously it's not extreme speeding, the Incineroar is going to sleep, and we'll maybe get to see who's faster here between the Brillium and the Kyogre. Okay, so Incineroar is going to sleep. Although the Kyogre is still there, threatening, obviously. So Brillium is faster than Kyogre, which is good. Well, there's probably Ice Beaming. Yeah. Sensible when you know that there's a Groudon in the back. So, okay. Actually. Actually, that's not good, is it? Yeah, in my head, I still had my Sash there. And next turn, I could have done the business into Kyogre. But now, whatever I put in, he can just switch Incineroar back into Rayquaza. And Water Spout, or Origin Pulse. I think I put Kangaskhan in here. I really want damage on that Incineroar. I really do. But if I just Earth Power it, it is so obviously going to go back into the Rayquaza, isn't it? So he can recycle his Intimidate so he can get the weather back up. That Incineroar is switching out. So Groudon's going to go into Lunala. And I'm just going to frustration. I'm thinking about Rock Tombing the Incineroar. Because, you know, the speed drop on Rayquaza is very good. But the Kyogre could protect, but I really need damage on Kyogre. So Incineroar is going out. He's possibly protecting. I'm thinking, yeah, maybe I should have just targeted that slot. Yeah, it does. Yeah, I should have gone with my initial thought there. But now he has brought in the Rayquaza, I have got potential to just bring Groudon in again. And depending on how Assault Vested that Rayquaza is, I might just be able to get it with an Ice Beam. So that's probably what I'm going to go with, but do I have any other options? Because Rayquaza is probably just going to crunch, isn't it? And Kyogre might be Ice Beaming, might be going into Incineroar, actually, as well. Helping Hand Ice Beam. Or ×4 effective Ice Beam. We'll go for a ×4 effective Ice Beam. I don't think this is going to knock it out, but I think I need it to. But he's not seen Ice Beam yet. I hope we can pick him off with this. Yeah, so he is switching into Incineroar there, which I did kind of expect. I really hope this Ice Beam gets the Rayquaza. If it doesn't, we've probably lost Lunala. Yeah, of course it doesn't. Oh, it's just gone for a Dragon Ascent. Is that into Kangaskhan? It was into Kangaskhan, okay. That's not too bad then, actually. Unless the Incineroar wakes up. So Rayquaza cannot protect here. We know it is 100% Assault Vested. So Rayquaza is probably going to go into Incineroar. Into Kyogre, rather. But is there any way that I can take advantage of that? Swap Lunala out. An Earth Power? Yeah, I think I do. This might seem risky, and it is a bit risky, but I think he has to swap the Rayquaza out, and if he does get Kyogre in there, I can't really touch it for much with an Ice Beam and an Earth Power. So, yeah, good. Got that one right. And now we can lock into Moongeist Beam, excuse me, or Psyshock, if we take care of the Incineroar, which will hit the Kyogre for more damage and Ice Beam, obviously. Yeah, okay. We seem to have stopped. There we go. Alright, okay. So again, I could just Earth Power the Incineroar. But again, Rayquaza could come in there. Ooh, this is tricky, isn't it? If I double into it, I will knock out the Incineroar if it stays in, but then I'll be losing Groudon. And probably Kangaskhan as well, won't I? Yeah, I can't stop this. Yeah, yeah. Ah, I've messed up that, yeah. I was thinking, I should have just doubled into that slot, but I thought, if I don't hit that Kyogre, it can literally just knock out my Kangaskhan, and I need my Kangaskhan. Yeah, I've lost this game. Yeah, I feel like I played that badly. What happened there, then? What happened? What should I think that's the turn. I was doing okay until then. That's the turn that things fell apart. So if I knew what he was going to do, which I kind of did, would I have done things differently? I was thinking about just going for a Frustration and Earth Power into the Rayquaza, because, you know, if he stays in, he's being knocked out. But I thought I didn't do that because he was in rain, and he would have just knocked out my Kangaskhan and Groudon, and if he did switch it out, my Lunala doesn't beat his Incineroar. But, But I guess I should have maybe attacked the Kyogre and swapped Groudon out to Lunala. That would have made more sense. But, and then I would have still had my Groudon. Yeah, I needed to keep Groudon safe because of the Incineroar. Like, Lunala wins this game as long as there isn't an Incineroar, and because that Earth Power before did literally just like 75% that activated his berry. If I'd done like 74%, then maybe Helping Hand Moongeist Beam would have got it, but I think at this point we've lost the game, unfortunately. So he will Extreme Speed here. There's nothing that we can do to stop that. Yeah, I'm not sure why he needs to do this, but yeah, okay, so yeah, Extreme Speed, fair enough. So, okay, so I feel like I played this one okay up until a point, but then I feel like I was sort of pinned, sort of, that turn. So, okay, let's say I just return Frustration into the incoming Rayquaza and swap Groudon into Lunala. Lunala and Rayquaza, Lunala and Kangaskhan both survive, and now we're in this position with a Kangaskhan and Lunala and a Groudon in the back. So that would have been the right move to do there. But there's no way Lunala beats an Incineroar when we're locked into Moongeist Beam. So we're just going to run, not going to waste any more time. So, it's unfortunate. Our streak had to end at some point, but, it can't win everything, can you, really? So, yeah, and it's Kyogre Rayquaza teams that actually I fear most with this team, so I'm surprised that I've won so many with it so far. But yeah, and that was a very winnable game, so that's what makes it frustrating. But it doesn't matter. We'll move on, and Wednesday we'll be back with some more Bazzle spots with this team, and hopefully I'll see you then. Like I was saying last week, please subscribe. I've been losing subscribers, so please join me again, and share my videos. Help me out if you wish to, and I'll see you on Wednesday. So bye for now.